West Michigan. This is 24-Hour News 8 Football Frenzy.
Well, this ought to be interesting. Hello and welcome to another highlight-filled edition of the Football Frenzy. I'm Jack Doles, joined by Larry Figursky, Casey Jones. We were hoping to give you highlights from 26 games tonight, but Mother Nature kind of rained on our parade. We still have highlights from 18, hopefully. Let's start with our spotlight games. First up, Grand Rapids Christian at Muskegon in the biggest game in West Michigan tonight. And it is Muskegon striking first here. Alquan Evans gets outside, gets into the end zone. It was Big Reds would build a 10-0 lead in this game. Eagles answer. Patrick Hall going to drop back. He's got Malik McLaughlin open. McLaughlin wide open, gets into the end zone, and that cut the lead to 10-7. And then Christian goes on a run after a Muskegon turnover. Patrick Hall, the quarterback keeper, he's in from 15 yards out, 14-10. Another Muskegon turnover leads to another Christian High touchdown. Hall, another quarterback keeper, 14 yards this time. It was 21-10 Christian at the half. Do we have an upset on our hands? Big Reds? Well, they buckle down at halftime. This is Keontae Whiteside, breaks a tackle, gets down the sideline and in, cuts that lead to 21-16. And then fourth quarter, Caleb Washington on a 3rd and 1 is going to break up the middle and take it to the house. Muskegon Big Reds come back and win it. Final score 29-21.
We had a little, I guess I could say, come to Jesus meeting in the locker room on my side of the defensive side with Coach Ego. But it would come down to just the way we prepared. I think mentally there were some things that our guys were doing before the game that they're not used to doing. And I made sure that we understood how important it is not to get out of our routine and how to stay machine-like. And then they understood that. We're 2-0, and we have some coachable, correctable moments.
Spotlight number 2 shining on Lowell. Not just a game, but an event. For the 7th year, the Red Arrows hosting their Pink Arrow game as part of the Pink Arrow Project. This is before the rains came, obviously. The event now featuring not just football, but outdoor volleyball, and as you can see, soccer as well. Tonight, they unfortunately were not allowed to have the parade of survivors down the hill because of the rain. It had delayed the game long enough, but what a great idea. As you can see here, they were honored on the field. Simple idea by Noel Dean in 2007 has now raised more than $1.7 million to support cancer patients and their families, build the Gilda's Club in Lowell, and inspire cause games all over the nation. Great job, guys. As for the game itself, well, Pink Arrows hosting Chicago Hubbard, who also took part in the pink and then took a pounding. First quarter here, that's Derek Massey up the middle and in from 10 yards out. Their first possession added to it was an 8-0 game. Lowell still in the first tier with that 8-0 lead. We'll go to the air. Stevens on the play fake. Nice slant to Gabe Steed. He's gone. 53 yards. Add another 2-pointer. It was 16-zip Pink Arrows. And then early in the second, Stevens again. That's an easy pitch and catch. 4 yards. Alex Anschutz. Lowell goes on to blow out Chicago Hubbard tonight, 45-6.
Our third spotlight game, the Sailors and the Fighting Scots. South Christian trying to avoid an 0-2 start, but Caledonia poised to prove all those critics right, that they're one of the best teams in the state. And did they prove it tonight against South Christian. Second quarter, Sailors on top 7-0, and the Scots, Eddie Kelly, going to go all Marshawn Lynch on you. Beast mode right up the middle, breaking tackles, high-stepping his way left and right, 65 yards. Ties the game at 7 apiece. Then the Scots on top, 14-7. The Sailors, Johnny Wassink going to do what he does best, and that's go to the air, dropping back and lofts one deep down the sidelines, and Eric Van Voorst going to haul it in, a 70-yard pickup, and wait for it, Broncos head coach P.J. Fleck says that's a touchdown. Tie the game at 14 apiece, but in the third quarter, Caledonia, they're going to pour it on. Eddie Kelly with the run right up the middle and then down the sideline. 61-yard burst made it 28-14. Fighting Scots. They'd add a few more, up 20. Same score. Caledonia's Jalen Burton going to break one as well right up the middle. Another 63-yarder to the house. This one going to put it away. Caledonia wins big, 47-21.
All right, next up, we've got East Grand Rapids and Ottawa Hills at Hausman Field. Defensive struggle in the first half. Second quarter, Ottawa was driving, pass picked off by John Olson down at the 10-yard line. That snuffs that drive, but East would give it right back. Botched exchange, and DeJuan Jones recovers the fumble, and that sets up this. James Wyrick, 4-yard touchdown run, and the Bengals tie this game 7-7. That was your score at the half. Second half, well, it was all East Grand Rapids. Bryce Henley going to punch that one in from 3 yards out. And East Grand Rapids beats Ottawa Hills 24-7.
Stop number 5, the Battle of Zeeland. Defending state champion Ducks of West technically hosting the Chicks of East tonight. East showed up, folks, played a pretty good game, up 7-6 early in the second after converting on 2 4th and longs. Dan Pohanka, quarterback keeper, in from 7 yards out. It was 13-6 Zeeland East. West would answer. Casey Brinks, good young quarterback, finds Darius Piercy. 45 yards, he is gone. Convert the 2 as well, and the Ducks had a 14-13 lead. East actually comes back here, grabs the lead before the half. Jaden Honderman, but it's West that prevails tonight. The Ducks 38-27.
Forest Hills Eastern looking for their first 2-0 start since 09. And Wayland looking for win number 1 on the year. Jake Sibnewski. Hawks are down 8-7 there. 25 yards out, 25 yards in. Puts them on top. Forest Hills Eastern 14-8. Same scorer still in the second quarter here. Hawks going to go to the ground game again. This time it's Anthony Castillo on 4th and 2. Going to run it in from 9 yards out, diving his way into the end zone. It was 22-8 at the half, and Forest Hills Eastern hangs on in the second half to win it 22-14.
Cedar Springs and Sparta is next. And Cedar Springs, one of those teams right now that is looking very impressive early. Tyler Willis, 18-yard touchdown run. That put him up 44-6. That's your final. Cedar Springs, 44-6 victory over Sparta tonight. They're 2-0.
At Forest Hills Northern, the Huskies beat Kennewaw Hills in their opener, hosting the Bulldogs of Byron Center, who shut out Wyoming in week 1. First quarter, it's Jake Martin rolling out, finds Adam Farah, and he'll take it in from 20 yards out. Huskies had a 7-0 lead. They would add to it later. Martin again. This time he's going to set back in the pocket and just launch one deep and on the money to Parker Hall, who's behind the D, and will take it the rest of the way. Forest Hills Northern stays unbeaten. They win it tonight 35-15.
Out on the west side of the valley, home opener for West Catholic, renewing a once City League rivalry with Union. This is Nick Boersma, 20-yard TD. The Falcons pouring it on tonight at home in front of their west side crowd. Then they go to the ground. Lasarian Majewski here going to get the give. 25-yarder off the tackle and in. That's just a 5-yarder, 10-yarder right there. And West Catholic wins big, 51-12.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, highlights from Hudsonville's game up in Traverse City and 8 others. Stick around. The frenzy continues.